She was the last woman to be executed in Britain after she was convicted of murdering her racing driver lover, David Blakely, in 1955. We are Fortified History, and today we are looking at Ruth Ellis, a woman whose tragic story became one of the most famous criminal cases in British history. She was the last woman to be executed in the UK, and her case sparked debates that eventually helped lead to the abolition of the death penalty. Ruth Ellis was born in 1926 in North Wales, but grew up in London. Her early life was difficult. Her father was abusive, and her family often struggled financially. She left school as a teenager and took on various jobs, eventually finding work as a nightclub hostess in London's West End. This was a world of glamour, but also of exploitation. It was here that she met wealthy and powerful men, including the one who would change her life forever, David Blakely. David Blakely was a young, upper-class racing driver, and their relationship was intense but toxic. He was violent, jealous, and often drunk. Despite this, Ruth was deeply in love with him. Their relationship was marked by physical fights, public arguments, and infidelity on both sides. Friends described how Blakely would beat Ruth, sometimes so badly that she was left bruised and bloodied. Despite the abuse, she kept going back to him. She even suffered a miscarriage after he punched her in the stomach. It was a classic case of domestic violence, trapped in a cycle of love, fear, and dependence. On the evening of Easter Sunday, April 10th, 1955, Ruth waited outside a pub in Hampstead, where Blakely was drinking with friends. As he left and walked towards his car, she pulled out a revolver and fired at him. The first shot missed, but as he tried to escape, she fired again. He fell to the pavement, and she shot him several more times at close range. He died instantly. Instead of running, Ruth stood calmly, still holding the gun. A bystander took the weapon from her, and she reportedly said, "I am guilty. I am a little confused." She was arrested on the spot. Ruth's trial took place just a few weeks later. It lasted only one day. Under British law at the time, the death penalty was mandatory for murder unless there was strong mitigating circumstances. When asked why she shot Blakely, Ruth simply replied, "It's obvious when I shot him, I intended to kill him." This sealed her fate. The jury took just 14 minutes to find her guilty. Despite public outcry and appeals for mercy, Home Secretary William Lloyd George refused to grant her reprieve. On the 13th of July 1955, at the age of 28, Ruth Ellis was hanged at Holloway Prison. She was the last woman to be executed in Britain. Ruth's case caused a national outcry. Many believed that her execution was unjust, given the abuse that she had suffered. Over time, her story helped shift the public opinion against the death penalty, which was abolished in 1965. Thank you for joining us and looking at Ruth Ellis. If you have enjoyed the video, please check out our other content, and note that new content drops on Sundays.